Detroit. It's become a bit of a punchline in this country, but you have to ask yourself, how did one of the wealthiest cities in the country become this? It also has some of the highest crime rates, unemployment rate, and the lowest graduation rates of anywhere in the USA. That a student of Detroit has a higher chance of ending up in prison than graduating high school.
Wow, don't adjust your TVs. That's a picture of Detroit, Michigan as it stands today. Not quite the image you would associate with a major U.S. city.
But how did it get to this point? Joining us is conservative comedian and Fox News contributor Steven Crowder. Hi, Steven.
Hi, thanks for having me. The sun's not up here yet, but I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so we were looking at the video there. I mean, it looks like the aftermath of a war scene. The burned out pictures of Detroit. What did you find when you combed the streets there?
It does, doesn't it? It looks strikingly like Chernobyl. We went there to actually just examine the city and, of course, the history of the mayors and the policies in Detroit and found something that was really a tragedy. What you see is what you get with the video. It looks like a bomb was dropped in Detroit. And, of course, as we discussed, the unemployment rate is at record high. And one factual error I would like to correct with the video. When I wrote it, unemployment was officially listed at 28%, but this week, according to the Huffington Post, it's actually 50% in Detroit right now.
And
50%.
Every other person on the street doesn't have a job. Now, you say that one of the reasons that Detroit is at this particular crossroads in its history, a combination of lefty politicians and the unions.
Right, and to be clear, I mean leftists, not people who are left-handed, because I'll get letters. But yeah, absolutely. That's, you know, since 1961, they have had nothing but far, clear-cut leftists as mayor of Detroit, starting with Jerome Kavanaugh. And of course, the unions are very powerful in Detroit. The teachers' unions and the UAW. If you look at it historically, in any given year, it's like take your pick. One of them is going on strike. That's what happens in Detroit.
And that's so you think it's a microcosm of some of the things that are happening right now as more and more government spending's coming down the pike. Now, Mayor Dave Bing, evidently the basketball star, is doing a good job, I understand.
You know, I don't know enough about Dave Bing. The last real mayor that I paid attention to was Kwame Kilpatrick, sorry. And that was a rough ending. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Jail.
But I hope he does well. I really do. I weep for Detroit. It's really sad to go back to my hometown and see it that way. But considering that they've all promised the same thing, it's been the same Democrats coming back in, working with the unions. I don't see much changing in the near future, but I hope I'm wrong.
Steve, the whole thing is picking another industry and then bringing it over to that city. Steven Crowder, thanks so much. Have a great Christmas, Steve.
Hey, Merry Christmas and Happy Festivus, Brian.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's nice. And again, we don't exchange gifts on Festivus.
That's right.
Just hold a poll.
We should point out Brian and Jerry Seinfeld from the same area.
Right. And Jerry Seinfeld is the creator of Festivus.
And that's where it comes
for the rest of us.